walking you through tonight's race. This is the final event of this season 23. After a long 10-week season here on Project Cars 2, the best drivers out of our sports car divisions, the Camel GT Series and the now defunct International LeMans Series, are in here preparing for their 2.5-hour challenge. This is the second annual running. We ran the first one last season at the end of season 22. This is not a points race. The drivers have already won and ran their point schedules. We're looking there on the timings board. Top of the board there, VP Sir Race-A-Lot was the International LeMans Series GT3 champion. Cossack was the Camel GT LMP champion. They qualified automatically for our top class in GT1. Plogar and former Camel GT champion WKK are going to be starting at large, and then we have 6 starters in the GTEs, 4 in the GT3s. They're making their strategy pit stop here at the beginning of the race, putting their tires on. Those of you wondering, we run spec cars here in the SCL, and after running them spec, they make the tire pressure adjustments, all the type of stuff like that they would choose to do. It's permitted. You see guys using tire pressure, tire staggers, different pit strategies and whatnot. Just about guarantee you. Let's give you a read down of your starting order here tonight. We'll pull the timings off the board and get trackside with our drivers. Leading us in the GT1 class, as I said, the SCL Season 23 International LeMans Series champion out of LMP2. Looks like we have some kind of problem on the track, and it may be, no, it looks like everybody's catching up just fine. He was an International LeMans Series champion. Right behind him from Benson Speed Equipment, his final race for Benson Speed Equipment, the Season 23 Camel GT prototype champion will be Hassak, starting second. Third right there will be, let's go ahead and get on there on board so you can see the cars. Right there is Warren Kyle Keith, Season 21 Camel GT champion. He's going to be starting third. Progar will be starting in fourth right there in the green Nissan. He's an at-large entry to GT1. That concludes GT1, and then we go to the starters in the GTE class. Your pole sitter with his first career SCL pole from Renaissance Racing, Shano Kano, at the top of the list, running in a Ford. He was the only Ford runner, so maybe the Fords have something for Le Mans here. Starting right behind him will be Baron von Stosch there, running in a Chevy. He was a 4-time winner this season in Camel GT, so he is definitely a contender here, as he was the overall champion last year at Le Mans. Right behind them will be Rita St. James in the Chevrolet for JME Motorsports. She was the SCL 23 IndyCar Series and Indianapolis 500 champion, looking for a solid run. Starting in 8th overall will be Mutton from Wacky Racers Inc. He is in a Porsche, the white car right there on board. Starting 9th, Wanma from Zenith Motorsports. Wanma will be running in a Chevy. Starting in 10th is rookie driver GTP Striker there in the 53 Ford. He is going to be a contender, I believe. He's a sports car specialist, new to the SCL, but plenty of experience. Then we go to the GT3 class, last season's class winner here at Le Mans there in the DeVilbiss Mercedes AMG is Tiernan. He was the Season 22 Camel GT Series champion as well. The Dazzled Slinger from Wacky Racers will be in, also in a Mercedes AMG right behind them. Binary Bullet from Wacky Racers is in a Cadillac directly behind that. And Watcher from Renaissance Racers is in a Lamborghini at the back of the field. Let's get up to the front of the pack. Turn off our interface ready for the moment, as we are getting ready to go green, and the GT1s are in fact green here at Le Mans. Let's see if we can catch the start of the GTEs behind them, and they are green as well. The 2.5 hours of Le Mans SCL Season 23 is underway. comments, questions, people, go ahead and get them to us. During the commercial break, during the intermission, I will take a chance to take a look at them. Looking at the GT drivers fighting their way through right there in the GTE class. Let's get back up front. The GT1s looking for the overall win are underway. VP Sir Race-A-Lot from Sega Keith Motorsports, Hossack from Benson Speed Equipment. They will be teammates on the newly formed Apex Motorsports next season, in season 24, starting in September. Let's get on board right at the back of them with Progar. It's falling behind a bit. There's Warren Kyle Keith right behind them. But let's get a look at our GTE class cars. But they are right on top of each other with Rita St. James out front. All in a line. We obviously had some contact there on the intro. Let's get back up front on the track side. Sir Race-A-Lot and Hossack, the teammates for next season, obviously hooking up here on the straightaways early. They're going to be competing with each other for that overall win at some point. Both of them running in Mercedes. We got 3 Mercedes, Progar, and Nissan. With another former Camel GT champion, Warren Kyle Keith, WKK, season 21. Oh, we have a spin. Sir Race-A-Lot losing it there in Indianapolis, and he is going to fall well behind there. He turns it and gets it going. Did not see if he had some contact there or not, but that is a very tough, fast corner on the first lap on the green. And that's going to put Hossack in the lead with Warren Kyle Keith right behind him, 10 seconds off for Sir Race-A-Lot. Let's go to the front battle here in the GTE class. Rita St. James in the Chevy, the IndyCar Series champion for JME Motorsports, leading Juanma. Shane O'Cano falling all the way back to 4th in class and 8th overall off the pole, but I believe he's got plenty of time to pull that back together. We've got some close racing in the pack, so let's get our onboard chase cam. Muttley from Wacky Racers. There's Shano, your pole sitter, trying to chase down Barron. We're going to get up here on Juanma, who is trailing Rita. Juanma, second season driver in season 23. Team owner for Zenith Motorsports. He was a really unanimous selection for the SCL's most improved driver in season 23. Had himself a fantastic season. Right now, 6th overall, 2nd in class, and chasing down Rita as they are completing the first lap under green. Hoop off into the sand there for Juanma, and that's going to give Rita a little bit of an edge, and he's going to put Barron and Shano right on his tail, particularly Barron. Barron, 4 wins in the prototypes in the Camel GT Series this season. Qualified his way into LeMans, finished 3rd in points in the prototypes, I believe. No, 2nd in points. Get your comments at the next break, but he is trailing Juanma for 6th overall, 2nd in class right now. As we're early on, the first 30 minutes up to the 2-hour mark are caution-free. They're going to be just a straight run, so these guys will get a chance to get the cars underneath them before yellow flags are going to be called. Let's take a look back. Let's hang on here with Barron as they're coming up behind Rita as well. You can see the intervals right there between them. On the beginning of the Mulsanne straight, he's got pair of Corvettes going at it. Upping their way through it. Also in a Corvette, as we said, 2 Fords in the field. Shano, the pole sitter, GTP striker, who's a rookie driver. This is our 2nd running of the event. Juanma's cutting to the inside of Rita, looking to make the pass. Let's take a look at the trackside view as they head towards the 2nd Mulsanne chicane. He's inside. I don't know if he's going to clear it. He does. Excellent move by Juanma to take the lead in his Corvette. Let's get back on board there with Barron directly behind him. But Rita's right back on his tail. drives for me in JME Motorsports, won first female IndyCar Series champion, first female series champion in SCL history, Indianapolis 500 winner, and she's got a long run game plan. She's racing awfully hard here in early going to this race. She is right on the tail Barron, as you can see, not far back. Meanwhile, let's take a look at we got a GTE car in a lot of trouble. GTP Striker has fallen well behind. He's 20 seconds behind, and has some GT3 cars he's got to come through. Obviously having some trouble there, although there's a long way to go, and I still think, my prediction is he's going to be on the podium for the class by the end of this race. Meanwhile, at the top of GT3 here, we got 3 cars battling it out. We're on board with Bedazzled from Wacky Racers. He's got 2 cars off into the sand, him and his teammate Binary Bullet both hitting the sand, and that's going to put Tiernizzle in the Mercedes AMG for Base Motorsports, a team that is folding at the end of the season. Is Tiernizzle another one joining the brand new Apex Motorsports in season 24, which we're looking forward to seeing, but he pulls out into the lead now after Binary and Bedazzled both went off into the sand, and that's going to give Tiernizzle the class lead. So that was just in time for us to catch that. Meanwhile, we've got more close battling up front. Get an on-board view of this stuff here, because it's all very, very close. Barron rearing in on Rita for the GTE lead. As they complete lap 4 on the board, Rita still holding her own there. Barron defending overall winner here in LeMans. Like I said, 4 wins this season in Camel GT. We run 10-round seasons in the SCL for all 3 of our major classes, Winston Cup, Camel GT, and IndyCar, and you're looking at 2 champions. Barron, I should suggest, I'm doing him a disservice. He was the this season 23 Winston Cup champion. So what you're watching here is the Winston Cup and IndyCar champions from this season duking it out in sports cars. Of course, Rita loses it a little bit, and Barron will get by her as Rita fights it through. It looks like Wanma's going to try to come through, but can't quite make it. And as they're doing this, Shano is catching up to them in this Ford GT. Meanwhile, Barron is taking the lead in the GTE class. So a lot of action here in the first half hour. Wanma trying to line up Rita here as we're on the on-board. Gets her down to the inside. Got the preferred angle. I believe Rita will, she's going to go in tight. Holds her line. Excellent driving by Rita St. James. Forces Wanma to make a decision there, and these 3 are still glued together. Best battle on the track, even though we've got plenty of action on the track. Wanma going with Rita here, using the draft, trying to get by Barron. Got 3 Chevy Corvette C7Rs in action here at LeMans. As we said, this is not a points race. The Camel GT season concluding, and LeMans is a special event. We really look forward to this show at the end of every season. It's our final event of the season, and our most prestigious sports car event, as you're seeing now. Baron von Stock go to the outside here of Wanma. Wanma holding, as I said, most improved driver in the league this past season, but he gets hard on the brakes. Both of these guys make contact with each other there, Barron and Wanma, as Wanma went in a little hot there. And these 2 are going to be right back on top of each other. Let's check in meanwhile up front. Although Hossack holding a 7-second lead in the overall, the battle for second is WKK and Sir Racelot, both racing for Sega Keith Motorsports, although Sir Racelot will be moving to Apex Motorsport at the end of the season. So an interesting battle right here as Sir Racelot gets to the inside of him. That's WKK in the Zippinall car. And Sir Racelot completes the pass here, coming through the S's towards the end of the lap. After that bit of trouble that sent him off, he's taken 4 seconds off that lead. It looks like he is going to be a tough contender to shake off here at LeMans. He just put, as I said, 5 seconds back on Warren, having some trouble there in the sand, and that's going to put Sir Race-A-Lot, number 8 Mercedes, out in front. Meanwhile, give some time here to our overall leader, 5 seconds out in front in the number 7 team car to Sir Race-A-Lot. Well, actually their final run in opposite cars, although they've obviously already delivered their LeMans GT wins for next season. They are in matching liveries with the Apex Motorsports sponsorship, but are officially running on their own team this season. This is Cossack's final ride for Benson Speed Equipment. He won a Winston Cup championship and a Camel GT championship 2 years there, so 2 seasons there, so no complaints. But he is running out in front on his own right now. Meanwhile, back to the battle in GTE, where we have cars relatively on top of each other. We see Rita St. James there in 5th overall, first in class. Right behind her is Baron von Stosch in 6th, and Wanma in 7th and 3rd in class. Let's see if we can get a closer look here. Wanma and Keevan's Chevy, those are, I said, 3 Chevy cars there. Wanma forced to burp it when he's getting offline, but these 3 not going away from each other, and Wanma's not far behind himself. A car that's been a surprise here, I got to take a look at GTP Striker, still way in the back with the Ford. He's at the back of the GTE cars and is, let's see, 12, 25, 37 seconds off the pace. He's going to be waiting to see if he gets a yellow flag here after the 2-hour mark. I really do believe he's got the ability to finish on the podium, if not possibly win this race, so he's just got to grind it out and hope he can pull it together here. Meanwhile, to that battle, we're going to get back on board here. Rita's falling behind now, losing that spot. Baron and Wanma. These 3 just cannot get away from each other here on these opening laps. On board with Rita, as I said, a Winston Cup IndyCar champion. Wanma just fantastically improved driver. Spent season 22 getting discipline reports on him here and there. Had his name called out more than a few times, but this past season he was vastly improved. Had some top 5 finishes. I thought he was the most improved driver in the league as they come breaking into the Mulsanne corner there. In the Mulsanne, and Baron still in the lead. Rita trying to go up as looks like Baron hits the grass there. Let's see if we can see. Loses a bit of space. There comes Shano trying to catch up on them. We're on board with Baron here, watching Wanma and Rita in front. Wanma leading as they're heading towards Indianapolis. Dangerous corner, and Rita goes off to the left. Baron spins it behind him. Baron gets it going. Rita able to catch the car and get back on it. But Rita got off into the dirt. Baron locking up under braking there. He loses about 3 seconds, and now has Shano right on top of him. So there's Rita and Wanma. They're still going at it. Baron locking up the brakes. A lot of rear brake bias, obviously. And Rita went off track there. He lost his bearings. Has to now dig himself out of that hole. Meanwhile, we give some time to our GT3 class leader. Trinidad running on his own. He's got about a 13-second lead on Binary. He was a class winner last season here, looking to score his 2nd class win at LeMans. And he's coming up on a GTE car in Muttley at the tail end of the GTE field. And he might be passing there shortly in his Mercedes, looking to get by Muttley's Porsche. Muttley lets him through. Muttley trying to see where he is, lets him by now, and there goes Tiernizzle in the 9th overall, leading the GT3 class here. The 2:11 mark of the SCL season 23, 2.5 hours of Le Mans. Best battle on the track remains right here. Looks like Shano lost time. He fell 8 seconds behind the top 3, so Shano obviously had another off. Pole sitter in GTE, first career SCL pole for the second season driver. And got to be a little disappointed there, but there's a long way to go. Meanwhile, we get back to our chase here with Baron von Stosh trailing Rita and Wanda. These three have just been swapping back and forth. Lead, as you can see what's going on up above them. Warren Kyle keep 12 seconds back from the top 2 in GT1. Tiernizzle's holding a 14-second lead in GT3 over Binary and Watcher. GTP all the way in the back, still trying to climb himself through and go through the first hairpin. Can he hang on to it? Baron having a little bit of trouble with the car. But this is shaping up to be one heck of a battle here in GTE. 10 more minutes of the 30-minute clean start here. So we'll start seeing a spot where you can have yellows. And then the final 45 minutes are to the finish. So we'll see how this race plays out. There's definitely some guys who need a yellow right now. GTP striker back there, 14th overall. 6th in class is definitely one of the reasons. You can see the numbers to the right of their name is their, the left of their name is their overall, right of their name is their spot in class. Baron looks like he's resting back, watching these two go at it up ahead of him. Rita leading Wanda. Wanda's looking to make the pass, but they just kept swapping the lead, so I don't know if you just try to hang on. Ooh, Baron going a little wide into the sand. Having a little trouble with that Chevy here on lap 6 out. Move back up as this has been the best battle. Battle for the GTE lead. Rita leading Wanda. A pair of Chevys, there's no more muscle for either one of them. But there's nowhere for Wanda to make the pass. On the brakes hard, as is Wanda. They both make it through Indianapolis just fine. Onto the hard right-hander. I'm not great on my track names at Le Mans. You'll have to forgive me. I want to cut away from this action and take a look at the comments and questions. But let's go ahead and do that for a couple minutes right now. For just a couple of minutes. No, I do not want to cancel the session, that's for sure. Now as we get back to live action, these two still sitting on top of each other here. On chasing Rita, Baron not far behind them. Shano just digging his way back in. Currently 13 seconds back for the pole sitter in GTE, with 2 GTE cars well behind the field. Both of them continuing to struggle there, Muttley and GTP Striker. They're going to have to hope for a full course yellow here sometime in the next hour or so to get themselves reset. This battle remains the closest one on the track, so we're going to stay with it. Overall battle for GTE, Rita St. James leading Wanda, Baron and Shano not far behind. Rita, winner of 1 Camel GT. This is an official Camel GT race, as well as far as being for an official win. Rita, winner of 1 Camel GT race in the season 20 Motegi Grand Prix. Would love to add that second one. Juan still looking for his first points win as he pulls to the inside here in the Mulsanne. He's been try to get by Rita. Let's give our trackside view. He makes the move to the inside. Does he have enough braking here through the chicane? Gets it done. As they go wide, Wanma takes the lead in GTE again. We are closing in on a half an hour in of 2.5 hours of Le Mans. Wanma has taken the class lead again. They just continue to swap through these first 6-7 laps. Meanwhile, we will give a rundown here. Give a look at our class leaders. There is Hossack. He's holding a 4-second lead over Sir Racelat Hossack in his final ride for Benson Speed Equipment. As said, already sporting the Apex Motorsports cars. Was the season 22 Winston Cup champion. Won 4 races and the season 23 Camel GT Series championship in the LMP2 class. And looking to add a 5th win on the season ultimately. If he was able to win Le Mans, you can see Sir Racelat chasing him down here as the sky starts to get darker here as we approach 30 minutes in. We will be driving under the night here shortly, and that will change everything up, I can tell you that right now. Sir Racelat still closing in slowly after he had a spin at Indianapolis on lap 1. And Haas are going to be battling here pretty soon. Back to the leader in GTE. There's Wanma, and he's got Rita Barron right down on him. They're practically on top of each other. Baron von Stosch is 7 seconds back. Shano 14 seconds back. 3rd and 4th in class. As we're just 4 minutes away from the flags opening up. Then we look at our GT3 leader, Tiernizel. He has about 22 seconds on 2nd place in class. That's a GTE car, Muttley directly behind him. Tiernizel just pedaling that thing around. I think he's thinking that he can actually move up in the overall as he slowly chopped down time. He's been fast in that car, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, we got some action on the track. Let's get on board with Bedazzled. He's 4th in the GT3 class for Wacky Racers, and he's chasing Renaissance Racing's Watcher. Team owner of Renaissance Racing, is in a Lamborghini. Told me before the race he's not happy with the manufacturer. This will be Renaissance's last race in Lamborghini here at Le Mans. They're getting geared up for next season in Camel GT. But he's running 3rd in class right now. But he's got a challenge here from Bedazzled Slinger and the Hot Wheels Mercedes AMG. Bedazzled up there near the front. As a matter of fact, started 2nd overall, or started 2nd in the class, but running 4th right now, trying to catch up to Watcher as they're coming through the S's here. Battling for position, fighting those GT3 cars. And as I said, full course yellow, we could see everything change here. Watcher there burps it a little bit, as you can see. As he went off the track, as they come on to the front stretch through the Ford curves. Oop, gets into Watcher a little bit, sends him off into the sand. Bedazzled making a little bit of contact there with Watcher, sending him into the sand and taking the position. I'm sure it was an accidental thing, but right there came up on him really, really hard through the Ford turns and Ford curves and gave him a little punt there. Watcher probably not feeling too happy about it, but he's going to gather that Lamborghini back up and try to drive it back onto the track. Meanwhile, back up to the battle that just will not go away. Rita St. James and Wanma here at the top of the GTE class. They've opened up a much larger lead. Barron now 12 seconds behind them. Shano 16 seconds behind them. So those two have continued to have trouble, while Juan and Rita have just continued to battle head to head here. being on top of each other has not slowed them down one bit. They've used the draft to pull away from Barron and Shano. I think Barron and Shano have also had a few off-track excursions, but they're just 2 minutes away from the window opening up where we can get a yellow. We may see something shake down here. Rita back out in front. They're just swapping the lead. Meanwhile, up front, we're going to have to get right up front here to Sir Race-A-Lot and Hossack up front as we have a battle for the lead. After his first lap excursion, 8 laps later, Sir Race-A-Lot has chopped that gap back down, and he is chasing Hossack for the overall lead in the GT1 lead. So we've got close action all over the track as we approach 2-hour mark and the sun setting here at Le Mans, where we will end in the dark here at the 2.5 hours of Le Mans. So trying to hold off as here comes Sir Race-A-Lot, looking to get the draft onto the Mulsanne. They're an identically prepared Mercedes, as I said, officially running on their marks from season 23, Hossack, Benson Speed Equipment, BP Sir Race-A-Lot, Sega Keith Motorsports, but they're in identical cars because they're going to be teammates next season with newly formed Apex Motorsport, and they've come out here and done a fantastic job. They've opened 20 seconds up on third place Warren Kyle Keith. KK, and these two are right on top of each other. Leading the overall and the GT1 class, it looks like Sir Race-A-Lot's going to make a move inside on the second chicane and take the lead here at Le Mans right at the 2-hour mark after his little off-track excursion where overall pole sitter is back into the lead. Just like that. Hossack have anything back for him, we'll have to see. Let's check in meanwhile on the battle in GTE. It hasn't gone anywhere. Wanma and Rita right back at 5 and 6 as they go through the Ford curves. I'm sorry, through the S's back there under the Dunlop Bridge. Rita just biding her time. I'm sure she's just trying to keep her tires on her. They head down, getting ready to go onto the Mulsanne. The Keevaner's Huba Chips car for Juan has done him well. He's leading the GTE class with Rita not far behind. One more check-in on the leader in GT3. There is Tiernizza, 9th overall, leading the GT3 class here. Half an hour into the 2.5 hour of Le Mans. Oh, let's go give a rundown through the order real quick. BP Sir Race-A-Lot, as we said, right there in the lead. He's got Hossack directly behind him. Here's Warren Kyle Keith running in third for Sega Keith Motorsports in his Mercedes. He's 20 seconds behind the top two in class right now. Season 21 Camel GT champion, definitely capable of winning this race. Needs a full course yellow to get himself back into it, get himself reset. Tire strategy, all that stuff's going to play. We expect to see these guys making pit stops in about the next 15 to 25 minutes. That's going to be absolutely key. What are they going to do? What kind of tires are they going to take? And meanwhile, Progar, rookie driver this past season, he's going to run as an independent after briefly running for Asylum Motorsport. Progar is an independent. He's running in the Nissan, and he was an at-large entry in the GT1 a minute and a half off, but he's getting his laps here. I've seen Progar on the track. I've run with him in practices. I think he should get on to the right team, and you know, if he was to get on a Team Dynamo or somebody like that, he would, you know, a JME if we had space, he would develop into a fantastic driver. Today he's going to grind it out. Try to see if he can get a yellow and make a run at the podium, but you got to give him credit. He's out here getting track time, and I think he's going to have a say in who wins these races in season 24. Meanwhile, right back where we were, Wanma and Rita, first overall in the GTE class, both in the Corvette C7Rs, one for Zenith Motorsports, Rita for JME. Rita historic season in the SCL. As we get on board with her here. Historic season in the SCL. First female to win a major championship. She was the IndyCar Series champion. Won 4 races out of the 10 rounds this season. Ooh, and it looks like we lost Wanma. Wanma off into the sand, spins it around, going through the S's. And he's going to have Barron on top of him, and that's going to put Rita all by her lonesome in the lead. 34 minutes in, and someone finally blinked, and it's Rita St. James, who we were just talking about, the reigning IndyCar Series and Indianapolis 500 champion. How would it be for a female driver to win the Indy 500 and Le Mans in the same season? That would be some kind of story, but she is the IndyCar champion, and now she's got about a 10-second lead. As Wanma there in the Keaveney's Huba Chips car, losing it there through the S's, and he's going to have some ground to make up now, as Rita has actually passed Progar hitting the pits. First car in the pits here, sports car style stop. We'll see if he's taking tires. As Progar is the first one to hit the pits here at the 35-minute mark. Did not take tires. Looks like he's coming straight out with just fuel, and off he goes. Full speed. He's got a car coming up outside of him. Waits it out and goes. Good job for him. Meanwhile, back up to Rita right there. Wanma 8 seconds back now, coming onto the Mulsanne. He's going to have to shake that off. He's run very, very well. As I said, most improved driver, team owner of Zenith Motorsports. Hope he sticks around for a while. 6th overall, 3rd in the GTE class is Baron von Stosch, the SCL Season 23 Winston Cup Series champion. He also, besides winning 3 races in Winston Cup on the way to that championship, he won 4 times in the prototypes in Camel GT. I believe finished 3rd overall in points in the class. May have gotten 2nd. Would have been yours truly that he was racing. He's 3 seconds behind Juan, currently 11 seconds behind Rita for the class lead. I think that he definitely had trouble earlier in the race. That lockup in Indianapolis definitely hurt him, but there's a long way to go. A lot of strategy left to be played. Now we jump back about 8 seconds from there. There's Shano in the Ford GT for Renaissance Racing, newly signed to Renaissance Racing. He left TOW mid-season, teammates on Watcher's team. Shano running 7th overall now, 8th overall, and 4th in class. Shano was your pole sitter in the GTE class, first career pole, and currently sitting, as we said, about 11, no, he's about 19 seconds behind the class leader Rita. Still think he's a contender, particularly if we get a full course yellow. But Shano's going to have to grind it out if he's going to pick off time. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he starts working on that interval on Baron, Wanma, and Rita up in front of him. That'll take us to the GT3 class. We've got Tiernizzle, overall leader. He's got a comfortable lead in the class of about 30 seconds. Tiernizzle, as we said, won in the GTE class last season, looking for his 2nd Le Mans class win. And the way it's going right now, it looks like the final ride for Base Motorsports is going to be a successful one. He's doing a tremendous job in that Mercedes, just continuing to dominate here. 10th overall behind him is the 5th place car in the GTE class, Muttley, the team owner from Wacky Racers, grinding it out in his Porsche that the Wacky Racers ran to some distinction. The GTE champion, who had to cancel his entry for this race, the Zebra, ran the season for the Wacky Racers team, won the Camel GT championship in GTE. But he's not here today. Would have definitely been a contender in the GT1 class had he been. Right behind him, meanwhile, is Binary Bullet, running in a Cadillac here for Le Mans Wacky Racers in the GT3. Another excellent driver, somebody we're looking forward to. I believe he's re-signed to Wacky Racers for season 24. He's currently running, we said, 2nd in class, 30 seconds behind Tier, but he's definitely going to look to hang on to that. His teammate in a different car, however, the Mercedes AMG, is Bedazzled Slinger. Bedazzled had some terrific runs in some exhibitions. He's had some podium finishes this season. really had a terrific season. He was the Winston Cup Rookie of the Year here in season 23, and he's closing out here at Le Mans in this Hot Wheels Mercedes, 6 seconds behind his teammate for second, and about 39 seconds behind the class leader. Surprise so far, there is the Ford GT of GTP Striker, rookie driver. Ooh, getting a little loose there, trying to hang on to it. He loops the car right in front of Watcher, who goes by him. Striker having all kinds of trouble with the car. I pegged him for a contender here today. He's having some real trouble with the car. I'm going to hit his speedo real quick to tell you he's probably not running, though. He's running none of the tech aids, and that's been his main problem here. He's running his stability control and all that. He'd be in a much better position, but he is struggling at the back of the overall. Let's check back up front. Hossack retaking the lead over Sir Race-A-Lot. Sir Race-A-Lot obviously having more trouble. I'm missing action, given the rundown, as Hossack takes the lead back 5 seconds ahead of Sir Race-A-Lot. He's obviously having problems. Warren's 25 back. Progar has made his pit stop and is well back and forth overall, but meanwhile, out front is Hossack. Rita in GTE, Tierney in GT3. Rita working on a 6-second gap there on Wanma. We should be seeing some rounds of pit stops here shortly, particularly in the GT1s. We should be seeing pit within the next couple of laps, next 10 minutes or so. As we're on watching Hossack, your overall leader. Obviously, Sir Race-A-Lot having a problem there that we did not catch. We are 40 minutes into this race, and we want to catch the round of pit stops before we take my first station break. Hope you all are enjoying the broadcast, whether you're watching live or on the YouTube channel SCL Racing Network. SCL Season 23 coming to a conclusion. Those of you wanting the information, sundaycupleague.wix.com/SCRN. Check out the website. That's how you can find out all the information about running in one of the oldest sim racing leagues in the world. 8 years, 23 seasons. We run 10-week seasons with about a 5-week off season. This is the final event of season 23. And it looks like Sir Race-A-Lot had more trouble. He went 14 seconds down. I'm missing all kinds of action here on this track. Missing all kinds of stuff. Sir Race-A-Lot definitely lightning quick. If we take a look at, let's take a look at our timings as we're on board for our fastest laps. In GT1, the 3:42.1 by Sir Race-A-Lot is the fastest race lap by more than a second and a half, although obviously his off-track excursions costing him there. Warren Kyle Keith, meanwhile, has only gotten to 3:46s. In the GTEs, the fastest lap is the 3:54.9 by Wanma. However, Rita St. James in a 3:56, Barron in a 3:57. A lot of surprises out here. Tierney 4:01, the fastest car in that class by a long shot. I'll tell Striker he should probably run with the stability control to help him out quite a bit. But those are your timings in our fastest laps. As you can see, combination of speed and consistency is the key here. We're back on board with Rita St. James, 4th overall, leading in the GTE class. She's got about 4 seconds on Wanma, who's chopped it down from about the 6-7 seconds he was behind. Rita just taking care of her tires, I'm sure. This has gone better than she anticipated as she's run that 3:56. She's the second fastest car in her class. Barron, the favorite and defending champion, struggling. He's 15 seconds behind her now. Rita's just waiting for that first round of pit stops. Meanwhile, getting on board with Barron, 16, 17 seconds behind the class leader. A little bit surprised, 3rd in class, 6th overall. Barron struggling a bit here. We said his fastest lap time was just hit his best lap, 3:57.8. He's starting to chop him down. get them better and better there. But I'd look to see him. He can put it together. There's a long way to go. We're only 45 minutes in, only less than a third of the way through. We could see a full course yellow. We could see something shake up here in the pit stops, and we'll see what happens. And somebody's in the pits, and it is Hossack, your overall leader, GT1. Is he taking tires or just fuel? I'm going to suspect just fuel here for the GT1 leader. We're going to see how these guys are going to blink. I don't expect to see tires unless they have some kind of problem. He's obviously going to fill the tank up, try to go as long as he can. No tires. Something's kind of stopped here. I don't know if they are changing the tires or not. There's Sir Race-A-Lot also taking fuel. Hossack is out. Sir Race-A-Lot making his stop right behind him here on lap 13 on the board. He's taking fuel. No tires. Warren Kyle Keith making his stop right behind them. I anticipate he's going to be taking fuel and no tires, and we'll see how they come out once they get back on the track. Right now Hossack's back up to 11 seconds, 12 seconds. He was running 14 seconds when he came in. I think he might have had a delay on his pit stop. Let's see where Warren shakes out as to how these three shook out on their round of pit stops. Looks like Sir Race-A-Lot gained a couple of seconds. Warren was about 22, 23 out. He might have lost a second or two there as well. So we'll see how that goes, as now the GT1s have all made their first round of pit stops here. We anticipate 2, possibly 3, so we'll see how that shakes out. But they all took on a full load of fuel. We'll be waiting to see. Let's get a little chance to see our spectators' comments here for a couple of minutes on the broadcast. Patrick Gardner, why don't you post what your handle, PSN handle is there, Patrick, so I know who you are here. We're going to go back, take a look at the GT3 leader. Right there is Tiernissel. He is holding about a 26-40 second lead. He was a Le Mans class winner last season in season 22, and he has just opened it up here in the orange Mercedes AMG for the final ride in base motorsports. You can see him taking the car down there. Looks like he's just about to go through. Yeah, the S is back towards the front stretch of the forward curves. Tiernissel with a solid lead, but we do have a little bit closer battle. There is Bedazzled, and I believe he's got Binary right on him. Let's get chase cam here on Binary. These are two teammates that are in separate makes. Wacky Racers making a deal for 2 separate makes of cars. Bedazzled's running the Mercedes, and Binary is running the Cadillac here. We're on board with Binary, both rookies in season 23 for Wacky Racers. Let's get to the pits now, as Shane O'Kano has hit the pits. Shane O'Kano, your pole sitter in GTE, has hit the pits for the GTE class. Not probably happy here 45 minutes in where he's at on the board, but plenty of time to go. A full course yellow here could change everything. We've got a good hour that can happen in. And I'm going to anticipate him not taking tires. Or is he going to take tires? Might be giving us a little bit of a graphical glitch there. I don't see the hose in there. He could be taking tires. No, I don't think he was in that long. Let's see how far out he comes onto the track. 152. Hits a scoring line. They're going to say he's 3 minutes. He was about, yeah, I believe Shane O'Kano took tires there. So we'll have to see. Anyway, back to GT3. There's Binary trying to chase down Bedazzled. We're going to go to the pit cams whenever they come up. Binary without his headlights on yet. Probably needs to put those on. But those two teammates testing out GT3 cars. I anticipate it was something that their team owner Muttley had. He said, get in 2 different GT3s, see how they do at Le Mans. We'll make our decisions for next season. And right now, these guys who were up front early on, as we said, Bedazzled was these are the second and third qualifiers in class. They're running second and third right now. Watcher struggling in that Lamborghini back there in fourth in class. But these two are right on top of each other. Yeah, Patrick, type in the comment what your handle is so I know who we're talking to here. But everybody here watching, glad to have you on board. We anticipate seeing rounds of pit stops here shortly. We'll leave our comments up here for the next few minutes. Ossack still holding that 12-second lead. Warren Kyle Keese 33 seconds back now, struggling coming out on full tanks. Rita holding 5 seconds over Barron, or I'm sorry, over Wanma, Barron, and the GTE cars. Some of them shaking about out there. Shano trying to come through the field. He's made his pit stop already. And so we're going to see how this will shake back out. Going to go back and give Watcher, as I said, Watcher not happy with the Lamborghini. Got to give him credit for coming out here and running it out. Had some very good runs this season for Renaissance Racing. I anticipate seeing him. He may be a guy we'll see in Victory Lane next season. I really would hope. I think given his skill set, he would make an excellent IndyCar or Winston Cup driver on top of the sports cars. And we'll hope to see him in there. And you got to give credit to Stryker, grinding it out in that Ford GT. He's obviously struggling with Stryker. If you're watching, work on that tech package. Running these spec cars, you need the ABS, traction control, stability sometimes to make it work, but he's grinding it out back in 14th, and who knows, gets a yellow, he could get something to work with here. As we're anticipating green flag stops for the GTE cars here relatively soon. We believe that the GT cars in both classes will be able to go 2 stops. We're holding a 4-second lead right now over Ronda. Overall lead in class. The surprise was Barron, class leader. Turn off the comments here. No, I'll wait a few more minutes, guys. You got anything you want to ask us before I take my first station break? After we see the first round of pit stops. So if you have any questions about the SCL, look into the YouTube channel here and they'll have the website address. Winston Cup on Sundays, Camel GT on Saturdays, IndyCar on Fridays, numerous special events besides that. This is our final event of season 23. We've got most of the major class champions in this event. You're looking at one right there. Rita St. James from London, England, your IndyCar Series champion. 4 race wins in the IndyCars, won the Indianapolis 500. She is leading the GTE class, but Wanma is giving her a run now. Wanma back to it in about 3 seconds, as he has been starting to pick up a little bit of draft, grinding his way through. And there you can see in the twilight here, you can see Rita St. James directly in front of him. So he knows that he can get right back into this. Bedazzled still on top of each other. Shano's still working his way through the field. That remains our closest battle on the track right now, so we'll give some waiting for the round of pit stops. Give some time to our class leaders, Hossack, for final race for Benson Speed Equipment. As I said, 2 seasons on the team. Season 22 Winston Cup champion, Daytona 500 winner, Southern 500 winner. Won the Camel GT Championship this season in the LMP class. And he's got a 9.5 second lead and looking to win the overall here at LeMans, just to complete one of the best talents to come through the league in a long time. And he's proven it in his 2 seasons. Season 24, I think, with their new team, Apex Motorsports, is just going to. There's not too many big fish in a small pond, and I think GTE leader Rita. Yep, GT1 has gone a lap ahead of the GT3 class, some of the GT3 class cars. In the lead, she's only got a couple seconds. Juan has steadily chopped her down over the tail end of this run. There he is, just behind her as they come through the fourth curves. Sorry, onto the front stretch. Back to Tier Nizzle, still nursing a 45-second lead in the GT3 class. He's well ahead here, can afford to cruise, not take any chances. Pit early, that kind of stuff. Know that the round of pit stops are coming up for these GT cars. There's going to be another signing for Apex Motorsports next season. Apex Motorsport, I should say. It'll be a tough team to beat. Take a look on Shano running. Made his one GTE car that's already pitted, made his pit stop. He's 5th in class, 10th overall, 331, 217. He's a minute 14 back. I do believe that he changed tires. I believe, judging by what he did, he changed all, by the amount of time, he may have changed all 4. So we'll have to see if that gives him any advantage. Right now, if we take a look on the timings on the board, and take a look at Shano here on the board, last lap was 4:51, his best lap. Still in the 3:58 range. 2 seconds off of Rita. 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds off of Juan last put up. So he's trying to see if he can cut that down. If you took the tires, you better be putting up quicker lap times. And as of yet, haven't seen it, but he is on full tank, so let's see how that goes. Pull the tires off. Basically waiting to see when the rounds of pit stops are coming. Rita and Juanma are right back on top of each other, just 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds between them. Juanma went back some 6 to 8 seconds and has steadily chopped it off. And Rita has driven just like the JME Motorsports drivers, yours truly included, are known to drive steady, patient. Early in the race, she's running steady, consistent laps. She's not worrying herself when these cars are catching up to her. Knows what her game plan is. Running 4th overall and 1st in class, she knows what is possible today. And the more important thing is she did not run the GTE class this season at Camel GT. She was a prototype driver with one career in. But I believe that we are going to see pit stops this time by. They're coming down back stretch through the S's. You're going to see them fire it off across the pit lane. They can go through the sand. We have a car in the pits. Take a look at GTP Striker making his stop. I imagine where he's running, he might just service the car completely. Put the car up. That is a sign that they are in fact changing the tires. Even though you're not seeing it on the graphic, he is getting a tire change. Tire compounds. I think Rita may have found something here today in tire compounds. He's had some longevity. We take a look at the timings. Still running last lap to 3:57s. But she is going to be hitting the pits. There goes Rita. Ooh! And Juanma spins it into the pit box. Juanma spins it coming into the pits. Going to lose a ton of time there as Rita gets in. Let's see if she's just going to take fuel or take fuel and tires. I think this is going to be key right now. Juanma losing a lot of time as he spun it coming down the narrow choke of the pit lane. Something we expected to see an hour in here as we're finally seeing these cars, GTE cars heading in, so the GT3s won't be far behind them. tires. Let's take a look at Barron back there making his stop. Hard to tell when they're not giving us the graphic. And Rita heads on out. We'll see how much time he lost there. Still in the pit box. Is he changing tires? Looks like he might be changing tires. He's going to have some ground to make up for the last hour and a half. Tierney's in the pits with the GT3 car. The GT3 leader coming in with the lead he has. He can afford to take tires and try to drive it back. Let's see if that is indeed the case. Tierney's are fueling up. As we look up to the GTE cars, Rita came out 8 seconds ahead. She definitely gained about 6 seconds on Longo's mistake there. Barron coming out 24 seconds behind. He was running about 4. I think maybe he might have taken 2 sets of tires, or a set of tires there. Might change 2 instead of 4 tires. Coming out 25 seconds back. Running, I believe, about 15, 16 seconds back. There's Tierney out of the pits. Three cars have a little bit of time, it appears, by the fuel that no, Barron comes out at 23 seconds back. I believe he might have changed some tires. But Rita coming out, she had 2 seconds on one ahead in the pits. Less than 2 seconds, comes out with a better than 7-8-second lead. So Longo's in trouble with the pits, definitely hurt, and Rita makes her first pit stop relatively quickly. I don't believe they took tires. Maybe everybody's just fueled up and nobody on that time here momentarily. Shano coming out 28 seconds back. That tells me that was about not much farther than where he was. He might have taken 2 tires, or they might have taken 4, and Rita might have taken 2. It's kind of hard to tell there. Last lap timing. This lap, we'll look at the timings and tell you which time it took. Class going on board with Barron. He's got 24 seconds to make up here. Class leader. If he wants to win his second run. Having a little trouble there in Indianapolis. That was where so race a lot. His future teammate on Apex, Luke, last time. Lap times here on the GTE cars, and we'll be able to tell you roughly what they took in service. I believe, based on that, Rita and Wanda took tires. Took 2. Whatever they did, they all took the same. At about 55 seconds added, I believe they all took service. Everybody took tires. I could be wrong, but that's what it says here. So now we're waiting to already got his service, binary, and bedazzle that's stretching it. Timing's a little messed up here on the split. To the front, 5 seconds. There's your gap. There's a lap car in the GTE. There's Hossack, the overall leader, 5.2 seconds ahead of Sir Raceline. The quickest car in the class, but the car underneath him. He's had some trouble at times. You can see his headlights there in the distance. Getting close to the halfway point here, 2.5 hour of Le Mans. We've got a long way to go. And these guys are starting to grind it up. Quick rundown before we take our first station break near and halfway here. There is Hossack, your GT1 leader at the 122 mark. He's got 4 seconds on Sir Raceline, your GTE leader, holding about 4 seconds on Juan Rita St. James. She's just steadily held together, not made any mistakes, kept herself out front, and your GT3 leader with a sizable advantage. Try to get an idea here. Because he has not pitted, is not that far behind him. In fact, Binary might be looking right up at Tierney's after hit the Mulsanne. In the second stretch of Mulsanne, that is correct. Binary, however, has not pitted. Anyway, we're going to leave it here on the front with a trackside view as we take about a 5-minute station break. Get a full course yellow as we approach the halfway point of the SCL 23, 2.5 hours of up and down. And stay on board with the overall leader, Hossack, while we take the station break. This is Colin SCL Racing. I'm back with you. It looks like in the 6 minutes that we took a station break, a lot took place. We've got Sir Race-A-Lot riding right behind Cossack now to the lead there. The overall right as we hit the halfway mark, and it looks like Rita must have had an off-track excursion. She has fallen into the clutches of Wanma, who's now 8 seconds out in front with the GTE lead. Rita leading from off and on almost from the get-go. Obviously had a problem. She's now 8 seconds back. And we have not had a full course yellow, so Wanma's taking that lead. Tierney still hanging on to the lead there in GT3 as he's coming up through traffic. He's been around Muttley almost the whole race, and there goes Tierney sliding it around, looping it in Indianapolis. But he's got plenty of time. Take a quick look at the timings. Best laps have come down to the 341s. Cossack and Sir Race-A-Lot well out in front there. In WKK's defense, he did not have a ton of test time in this car, jumping into GT1 at the last second. Same thing with Prodar. Honda's been the fastest GTE on the track. And Tierney's has been far and away the fastest GTE on the track. But let's get to the front here. We've got a battle. As Cossack is trying to hold off his teammate, Sir Race-A-Lot, to head down the second section of the Mulsanne. Cossack's been steady and consistent out front all day. Sir Race-A-Lot's had a couple of off-track excursions, but he's been the fastest car in the class and has been able to make it up. He goes to the inside and takes the lead. So Sir Race-A-Lot pulls Sir overall back to the front. Now in Cossack, his teammate for next season. And the identical car not giving up yet. These two are side by side. Something to get full force yellow right here. Cossack slides it off. A little bit of contact there between the two. Sir Race-A-Lot takes the lead. Cossack looks like he overshot. Yes, he did. Overshot and he was into the wall. And with that, he gives up the lead, probably much like Rita did earlier to Wanma. Team tactics, I believe, to draft together and make it a sprint to the finish. That's what it appears. That or either that or Sir Race-A-Lot. Felt he was semi-responsible on the side of the time. Either way, they're back together right on top at the front. So Cossack's no worse for wear. And off they go, still racing for that top spot. Now in GTE, he's got about 8 seconds on Rita, who lost about 10 seconds. Hopefully she can line this up and make something happen in the last half and make a race out of it. 27 seconds back. Meanwhile, there is Barron as he goes through Indianapolis, where he's had trouble all day. Really was the favorite here, I have to say, in the GTE class, especially even though Shano was the pole sitter. He was overall winner last season, but was not to be. There's Shano Kano, meanwhile. Pole sitter in GTE, currently running about 40 seconds, 50 seconds almost off of the pace. Another guy who's got about 25 more minutes to get the full course yellow he desperately needs. I still believe he could be a contender if that were to happen. Back there, 5th in class, running in the Porsche. 9th overall, he's another 30 seconds on the track. And it looks like Bedazzled and Binary are still right on top of each other. Binary still no headlights. I'm sure why these headlights have not yet come on. Those two teams are still battling for second place there, nose to tail coming down the Mulsanne. And that's going to be Good race position. Sitting back here for a little while. Binary in trouble without his headlights on. See if the automatic will put him up on. Through this 2.5 hour long event here in the SCL. These two are still right on top of each other. We have not had a full first yellow yet in this race. Watts are back there struggling in 14th. He's 4th overall in the GTE class. As I said before, do not like the Lamborghini. Got to give him all the credit because he's driving this race out. Watch your real true credit. We're going to head back up front where Mustang is chasing the race line. Not sure if they're running a team strategy here or sticking together or if the race line keep flying back and tell them to talk direct. Either way, they are back on top of each other. You can see Mustang is in a 7 hour 9 and everybody at least one more than GT1 might have to. Spot opened up in the International LeMans Series. LMP champion Cali Vitals could not claim his GT1 entry and make the race. With no time in the car, running third in class and overall, grinding it out. He could definitely use a full course yellow. Might just get him back in it. They got about 20 minutes to see that happen. 12 seconds is the gap now for Wanma. I said second season driver, has no career, not won an SCL career race. You can see that first win. Obviously, Rita had some trouble. She's 10 seconds behind him now after pacing the field for the first half of the race, but there's still a round of pit stops to go. And we'll have to see how that goes. Speaking of pit stops, Progar is in the pits. GT1, this is his second stop. Said the rookie driver making a last second to play alternate entry as a GT1. And he's out here making an accounting for himself, much like we have somebody out of the race, and I believe that's Watcher. And we have our first retiree. It's in the GT3 class, as Watcher is out at the hour 5 minute to go mark here. At the hour 25 minute mark, Watcher from Renaissance Racing has retired it. And he will DNF this season's 2.5 hour Le Mans. And we may have another one parking it, and Progar in the GT1s has parked it with an hour 5 to go. So we've seen very quickly our first attrition of the day from our 14 starters. We're down to 12 now. Down to 12 now as Progar and Watcher have parked it. So we have our pit stops. Here comes Hossack and Sir Race-A-Lot simultaneously. Hossack misses his stall. Sir Race-A-Lot did not. Hossack missing the stall. Unbelievable. Do not believe this will be their last stop. I think they've got one more to go. Let's take a look if Sir Race-A-Lot gets out quicker. Maybe a chase cam would do that better here. We're on board, fuel's done. And he's out. Hossack losing a few seconds there, overshooting his stall. He's out. I don't believe either one of them took tires, but Sir Race-A-Lot's going to come out about 4 seconds out in front. Let's see if they maintain that, or if he holds up and waits for his teammate like he did last time. Take a look at Warren making his pit stop. I don't believe he's going to take tires either. The other two will. And off goes Kyle Keith, third class. See if he comes out in terms of time behind Hossack and Barron. About a minute. Definitely has 17 minutes left to get a caution, and he definitely needs one. Behind him by about 3.5 seconds. Hossack missing his stall. Definitely going to cost him. It's going to be tough without help. It's going to be very tough without help to catch up with that. He'll have to wait for Sir Race-A-Lot to make a mistake, and that's going to be very, very difficult to do. Meanwhile, so all 4 of the GT1s have made their second stop. That is the closest race on the track. Let's go back to our GT leader. There's Wanma. He's got about 12 seconds on Rita St. James right now, who has, if we take a look at the timings, running the same lap times, but Wanma has been a little faster on the overall there. And they got about a 12-second gap with at least one pit stop left to go for those teams. So we'll see how that pans out. They're holding about 25 seconds on Barron from the leader. There with the leader right now. She's got a GT car right on her tail. I believe that's Stryker. Yeah, Stryker's right there. You can see their last lap times there in the white column. Barron running 3:57.1. He's definitely moving up quickly. Let's give some of that time here too. It's just opening it up. Up to 13 seconds on Rita St. James. Rita all the way to the first round of pit stops had the lead. Wanda gave her about 6-8 seconds somewhere in the 4 or 5 laps out of the pit. She had an off-track excursion somewhere and lost good 10-12 seconds, and now it's Wanma's position to lose. Rita's going to have to use some strategy, try to chop that lead down. As Wanma is now comfortably in front. 13 seconds. Rita trying to run behind him. She's holding about the same gap on Barron. Shano, meanwhile, 23. He's almost a minute behind at this point. I definitely think he took tires or something and somebody else didn't. It's a disappointing run here for Shane after winning his first pole in this race in the class. Had some trouble from the get-go. He could definitely use a yellow. Wonder if Binary and Bedazzle are still right on top of each other. Yes, they are. Bedazzle and his Mercedes. Yep, Mercedes-Benz AMG. As he's still battling his teammate for second place in class. As we are past the hour-and-a-half gone mark, about an hour to go. Less than 15 minutes until we are turning off yellow, as there goes Bedazzled into the wall. And that's going to put Binary right back on top of him. Let's get an onboard here. Binary's coming up behind him. They're trailing Tierney by what appears to be over a minute in the GT3 category. Battling each other for that second place. One of the best battles on the track right now. Battling for 10th overall and second in the GT3 class. Go off the mic for a second. bettered his lap there by almost a second last time by. Here on lap 26 of the SCL 2.5 hours of Le Mans. Glad to have you with us. Ooh, on the loser, getting a little loose there. Get trackside with him as he's giving some time back there. Watcher and Progar both DNFing about 10 minutes ago, bringing us down to 12. 54 minutes to go. Should be seeing rounds of pit stops at some point here for the GT cars. Relatively soon for the GTEs. Let's go through our rundown through the race. Look on your map there, as you can see when I click on some race a lot, that blue arrow on the southern portion of the track there, that is where we're at. He is currently holding a 2.2 second lead in this final ride for Sega Keith Motorsports. Directly behind him, second overall, second in class, the Paris Sports Car champions there, as Hossack running right behind him and staying in it. Kyle Keith running in third for Sega Keith Motorsports. Chance to see his team win it as his driver's final ride in the SKM ride is running out front there. He's about a minute 12 off the pace. Leading in the GTE class, fourth overall, is Wanma. Wanma, never a winner in an SCL official race. This would be his first. Can hang on. He's currently holding about a 15-second lead over Rita, who was your leader for much of the early going here from JMB Motorsports this season, IndyCar Series champion. Baron von Stosch about another 15 seconds behind that in his Chevy. Last season's overall winner here at Le Mans, holding on to third place. One of those guys needing a full course yellow. Fourth in class, seventh overall is Muttley in his Porsche for Wacky Racers. He's more than a minute behind there. Then we get to your GT3 class leader, which is Tier Nizzle, looking to get his second straight Le Mans class win. He holds a comfortable lead of well over a minute. Ninth overall is Shano in the GTE class, the GTE pole sitter. He has already made his second pit stop, so we'll have to see how he shakes out as the cycle of pit stops comes through. Then comes Bedazzled and Binary, the Wacky Racers teammates. Still relatively close to each other on the track, although there is some separation now. Bedazzled in the lead, there's Binary coming onto the front stretch himself. Obviously had a rough lap there, lost about 10 seconds. And grinding it out in 12th place overall, 6th in the GTE class, is GTP Striker, just doing a yeoman's job considering he's not had that car underneath him throughout this race, but he's going to earn whatever he gets, earn a lot of respect of the other drivers out there. And we've got Rita St. James hitting the pits. Let's see what we get here. Rita making pit stop here, what she thinks, I think, will be her final pit stop. Take on the fuel. I don't know if she'll be taking tires. But she's making the final pit stop. And doesn't look like it to me. So Rita St. James makes her pit stop. She's going to come out here. Let's see, 1:05. 40 seconds back. We'll have to see at 40 seconds back if Wanma, when he makes his stop, is going to have gained any time. Rita was about 13 seconds behind him when they came in, so we'll have to wait and see. Barrett, meanwhile, jumping ahead of Rita by 6 seconds. He's 35 seconds off the lead. Last lap there being a 4:03 showed you he had another rough time. Only 5 more minutes to see a yellow, and you know some of these guys are begging for it. It's been a long, grinding race here, but if they're going to get back into it, that might be what they need. Meanwhile, Wanma leading there. Tiernazle well out in front. Shano coming out 6:47. He just had a 4:44 lap, which tells me that Shano either made a pit stop I didn't catch or he parked the car. He is, according to our board here, well behind, more than a minute and a half behind his class leader. So we'll have to see what happens when the rest of them make their pit stops, but it's been a disappointing run so far for Shano, who was really my dark horse pick. Even though he was the pole sitter, I think this was the race he was going to pull it together. But it's been a rough show for him, but he's definitely a driver who has the talent and ability to do it. As it looks like Viner and Bedazzled 3 seconds apart, still right on top of each other. There's Wanma, your GT leader. Meanwhile, we're going to head back up front to VP Sir Race-A-Lot, their overall GT1 leader. He's got about 2.5 seconds on Hossack. Future teammates as he goes around traffic here at Le Mans. 48 minutes on the clock. Only 3 minutes left to see a yellow. We've got at least one more round of pit stops for the GT cars, and I believe we'll definitely see one more for the GT1, so it's going to be tough. Hossack overshot his pits on the last one. That's how he gave up that lead. And we're going to have to see how he can hold his steel nerve here towards the end of this race. I believe Hossack is coming up through traffic. Let's see if we can get an onboard with him. Well, he's made his way through. They're both running in the 341s last lap, so no difference between them. I think these two are running together and making a shootout at the end. Warren, meanwhile, just looking to hang on to that podium finish, third in class. Meanwhile, we'll go back to the GTE leader. Wanma has not made his second pit stop. He currently has a 36-second lead on Barron. 49, 48, 53 on Rita. Times get a little odd sometimes with the different parts of the track. We'll stay here with Wanma. As we said, he looped it, got stuck in the pit lane, gave up about 8 seconds to Rita on the first round of stops, and he's got to make a good stop here. Rita came in early, topped off the tank. Have to believe that Juan's got to come out here and when he makes his stop, he's got to make a clean stop if he wants to get his first SCL win here tonight. This will be the biggest pit stop of his sim racing career coming up here. Meanwhile, on her first full lap out, we'll see where her lap time is compared to Juan's 3:56, which is very competitive. Rita's already made her stop. Down to the forward curves. She's on obviously full tanks, and we suspect old tires. She's hitting onto the Mulsanne. Almost a minute down now. Clocks might be a little odd. The timings to me are saying something else. I'll tell you what that makes me want to do here, fellas. Makes me want to hit the stopwatch. Meanwhile, up front, Sir Race-A-Lot and Hossack coming through traffic, still right on top of each other with 45 minutes to go. I believe in another 15 seconds we're going to be green to the finish, barring a red flag, and so these guys are not going to get that full course yellow that they were so hoping for, and that's pretty much going to spell what we got in front of us. two are right on top of each other. We're going to get us a timing here on Juanma. Where is he at? Going through the Porsche, under the Porsche sign. He gets towards the front. We're going to get a timing on him. Meanwhile, got that battle up front. Back into an onboard here, and we're going to see what Haasak's seeing as he tries to chase down Sir Race-A-Lot for the overall lead. Get our own timing here. It says here he is 54 seconds ahead of Rita. That would mean Rita lost 10 seconds since she came out of the pits. I don't know if that's accurate, but we're going to find out here in just a second. As he hits the line. Get back onto Rita, who's now coming down through the Porsche curves. Chase cam on board. She's got somebody right on her tail. You can see who that is. Can't quite catch who that is. But we're going to get our reading here as Rita gets to the line. As Baron von Stosch hits the pits, we're going to get to his pit stop here momentarily. Let's just see exactly how far back St. James is. Is she really a minute down? Appears so. 1 minute back. Meanwhile, we'll get on Baron von Stosch's pit stop here. His second stop of the day and probably his last from this point. He said it's been a bit of a disappointing day for him so far. Last season's overall winner in the LMP1 class that ran in the season 22, 2.5 hours of Le Mans. Takes his fuel, don't know if he's taking tires. Doesn't appear so, and out he goes. Baron von Stosch in his Corvette in his final ride for Benson Speed Equipment. Off he rolls. Back up front where these two are conspiring to get their airtime here. And they are nose to tail with 41 minutes left. And I believe another round of pit stops. Both of them running in the 342s, sticking closely together. Heart's just pumping in that car right now. Don't give it away. 22 seconds is a long time. It'll take a couple of big airs to really get it up. It's got enough fuel to finish, I believe. Front, so race lot later still has to make that last pit stop. Kawasaki made his last stop, came in 27 seconds to the good, or to the down, so let's see how it goes. It's coming in now. Overshot. Race a lot overshoots his pit. I think he'll be taking just fuel. He comes out behind, missing the pit stall, pitting later. Took what looks to me to be far too much fuel. And that puts him 4.5 seconds behind Haas. So Haas makes a clean stop, makes it early. So race on, misses his stall, makes a later stop, comes up almost 5 seconds down. Kawasaki in the lead. Unbelievable turn of events there. You knew they had to make this pit stop clean. Alright, we'll leave it here for a while. here. Kyle Keith parked it. Sitting in third. He's going to get third in class. I believe he is going to be parking it. Staying in the pits for now. Alright, I'm going to stay off the mic. Let you guys watch this last battle real quick. As Barron passes Wheeler. To take second in class, it took him a long time to grind back. Barron managed to do it. Rita, who had the lead in class for much of the first half of the race, falls back to third in class. And they are both still 35 seconds behind Wanler, the class leader. Trackside. Carlin Hicks back with you. Hope you were enjoying this broadcast. As I had the mic out, stepped out of the studio, we are down to the final 11 minutes and change here at the SCL Season 23. 2.5 hours of Le Mans, final race of the season. And we have got a battle shaping up. Hossack, there is your overall leader, GT1. And he's got Sir Race-A-Lot directly on his tail. These two look like they've set up for a fantastic finish. Take a look at the GTE class, where with a 30-second lead, Wanma from Zenith Motorsports is looking to get the first win of his SCL career. He has yet to, in his 2 seasons, won an official championship race, and this would be the first. 32 seconds after he, Barron, and Rita fought it out, and we'll talk about the GTE story a little bit here over these final minutes. But let's get back up to the front, where you can see these guys are not minding the track limits quite that well. You have to keep that in mind here towards the end of the race. As these two are neck and neck with 10 minutes to go for the overall and the GT1 win. Both of them sports car champions this year. Hossack in the Camel GT Series LMP class. Sir Race-A-Lot in the International Le Mans Series GT3 class. He goes to the inside on Haas. Two wisely staying off of each other. Here comes Race-A-Lot back to the right side. Trackside, Sir Race-A-Lot in the 8, Haas in the 7. They are neck and neck coming down the Mulsanne. Better get back on the back of them here. This is going to be critical. Who makes the corner? Looks like Hossack got a better run off the corner, and he goes back into the lead. Here's somebody in here. Ooh, somebody goes way off. And that is Hossack. I believe that was in Indianapolis, and he may have just flushed away Le Mans. He goes off in Indianapolis, hits into the sand trap. He's going to come out 4 seconds behind Sir Race-A-Lot in the lead. It's by no means over with 8 minutes to go, but that might be the final fatal mistake. That might be the final fatal mistake for him. Cycle through the GT1 battle. You see it right there. Haas has 4.5 seconds to try to make up. Warren Kyle Keith, as we said, a late addition in the GT1s. Season 21 Camel GT champion, a terrific driver, was not ready for the car. He's about 5 minutes off, I believe, a lap down. But he's going to hang on for a 3rd overall finish. Now we tell the GTE story. It was Wanma, Barron, and Rita all up front early. Rita led the race for most of the first half. After the first round of pit stops, Wanma had a bit of trouble. And Rita had the lead. She had trouble coming out of the pits, and since then it's been Wanma looking for that first career win. He's got Barron, who managed to pass Rita. For the defending overall Le Mans winner, it's got to be a disappointing race. He's 5th overall, 2nd in class. He managed to fight his way back up there, but I think he had nothing short of winning on his mind, and it's not over yet, but can Wanma hold on and not blink? Rita, meanwhile, I think you might say she'd be disappointed after leading half the race and really was the most consistent driver in the class through the first hour and a half, but sometime right after that round of pit stops, the car just got away from her. Bad set of tires, something happened. She's now settled firmly in third in Class 6th overall, but really considering that she did not run the GTE cars this past season, a fantastic performance. I mean, really good performance. She put the week in to get the car underneath her to represent JME Motorsports, and she's done just that. And the only JME car in the field is yours truly's up here in the booth, and she's performed well. Shano Kano, meanwhile, you know there's disappointment there. Shano was the pole sitter in GTE. He got behind the 8 ball early in that Ford GT for Renaissance Racing. Now he's well more than a minute behind. The podium's currently looks like he's going to settle in 7th overall, 4th in class. But Shano's a guy that we know. 2 seasons under his belt now. We really look for big things from him at Renaissance Racing in season 24. He's a terrific driver, and any class of car you put him in, particularly sports cars and Indy cars, and we'll see how he does out. Meanwhile, the GT3 story has been all tear nizzle. Last season was a class winner at Le Mans. Looks like he's going to win his 2nd straight Le Mans class win in that Mercedes AMG as he goes a little wide through the corner there. But he's holding up well. He has a sizable lead. He's led from almost the get-go. And 8th overall, 1st in class. 9th overall, 5th in the GTEs is Muttley in that Porsche, who's just been grinding it out, racing mostly with Tierney in a different class. But Muttley looks like he's going to represent for wacky racers in the overall. 2nd in the GTE, Bedazzled, and Binary Bedazzled's in the Mercedes AMG Hot Wheels car, both of them running, as we said, development cars for wacky racers. They're going to wind up finishing 2nd and 3rd in class. Bedazzeled's had a good run. He battled, him and Binary battled nose to tail for most of this race. They have everything to be proud of. As Bears Binary get a last look at him in that Cadillac. Another good run. And GTP Striker has had a lot of trouble with the car. Got to give him a pat on the back. He made it all the way through here. And it looks like he's going to get himself a finish. As the 2.5 hours of Le Mans dies down, there's your overall leader, VP Sir Race-A-Lot. 5 seconds on Haas after he went in. We saw a lot of intrigue here in the GT1. Hossack overshot his first pit stop. Sir Race-A-Lot overshot the last one and lost 4 seconds. It appeared to put Haas in the lead. Sir Race-A-Lot ran him down, and then Haas went into the sand there at Indianapolis a few minutes ago. That appears to tell the story. And that appears to be where we're at. The question is, how many more laps are they going to run? Does everybody have enough fuel? It appears as though they will. As for our Le Mans Rookie of the Year, right now, the top finishing rookie, and that's overall, is Bedazzled Slinger. He's in 10th overall, 2nd in class. It looks like he will be your SCL 23 2.5 hour Le Mans Rookie of the Year, unless he gives up 45 seconds to Binary here in the last few minutes. But there's Sir Race-A-Lot, 5 seconds. Can he hang it on? He has had a few offs today. He's been the fastest car in his class. That's why he's where he is. But one mistake could put him right in the wrong spot. So we'll have to wait and see. Another story as we cycle through the leaders here. Wanma, as we said, looking to get his first official SCL win. Although this is not a points race, it does count as a Camel GT race. Will count as a Camel GT win for these guys. And Wanma, as we said, season 22, got his name in the officials book quite a bit, had his problems on the track, quite a few DNFs, but this season in season 23 for his new team Zenith Motorsports, I mean, he just really was the most improved driver. He came in here today, then there were 5, then there were 4, then there were 3, then there were 2 in his class, and you know, he had a terrible mistake on his first pit stop, came out well behind Rita, and then after You know, Rita had an off after her second stop, and that's where Juan is taking the lead, and he is just 2 minutes away from his first SCL career win. As we said before, your GT3 leader, Tiernizzle, right there. Season 22 champion in the Camel GT Series. Ran part-time this past season, so he did not run for points, but got himself in the winning board anyway. And looks like he will again here at Le Mans. Closing out, we will have some special exhibitions in the off-season, but it will be the middle of September. I believe Thursday, September 13th is the opening of Season 24 Daytona Speed Weeks. So another SCL season of competition will be underway. But what a show we have seen. Back up front here with Sir Race-A-Lot, who looks like he's going to succeed Barron as an SCL overall Le Mans winner. Run that GT1 Mercedes fantastically today. He's been quick. He can stay out of trouble in the next few minutes. Not sure. He'll probably make the line here. But he and Hossack have been the most prepared and the key drivers in the GT1 class here today. And it looks like there will be one more lap. We'll be getting the white flag here, I believe. 4-second gap here of the Hossack. 4 seconds after 2.5 hours. Some of that, do I think they were running together and drafting, trying to save fuel? Yes. But that just goes to show the spec cars, the way that SCL runs it. We get the best competition you're going to find anywhere in sim racing. And these guys were on top of their game. Appears that is going to see the clock run out. White flag has fallen, and Sir Race-A-Lot, however, lost about a second right there as Hossack is closing into within the 3-second range. Juan with 26 seconds to the good, and good minute and a half for Tiernizzle in the GT3 class. But really a credit to all the guys here. Looks like we had another DNF. That was in a 1, 2, 3, 4. That was in a GTE car. Rita, Tiernizzle, Muttley, Bedazzle, finally. That was Shano. It looks like Shano Kano right at the tail end of this race. Your pole sitter in the GTE class is going to not finish with just seconds remaining. Not sure if he just exited the room or what the deal was, but he must have been unhappy. Bedazzle hitting the pits. I don't think he realizes what this means. This could cost him the Le Mans Rookie of the Year here. If Binary can come around and pass him, Binary's going to be the Le Mans Rookie of the Year. Let's see if he makes just a splash of fuel. He does. Barron's going to have to make a splash of fuel as he has run out. Barron has run out of fuel. Barron runs out just at the mouth of pit lane and gives away second in class to Rita. Unbelievable. He takes a splash and goes. But I think the fuel bug got him. Rita and Juan are in the same boat here, both low on fuel. Meanwhile, back up front, as they're coming down through the back section, about 4 seconds. Hossack pushing as hard as he can right now. But yeah, Rita pulls out now over 10 seconds ahead of Barron. Might steal second in class from him as Barron ran out right at the end and had to take a splash and go. Bedazzle made his splash, however, and comes out still well out in front of Binary, as it is Shano who appears to have parked it right at the end of the race. Unfortunate, but he didn't have the race he wanted. He was the pole sitter in GTE. He got behind the 8 ball early, never really got it back. Looks like he left the room completely. While we are on board with your overall leader, Sir Race-A-Lot. He can hang on, 3.5 second lead. He will be the SCL Season 23 2.5 hour of Le Mans champion. is just inching it down. Meanwhile, here comes Sir Race-A-Lot, 3.5-second lead. He's going to come through the Ford curves, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The SCL Season 23 Le Mans champion is VP Sir Race-A-Lot. As he passes the line, Hossack's going to come up behind him very, very close in second place. Warren Kyle Keith is in third, right behind them. Now we get on board now with your GT3 leader. Here comes Tiernizzle. Crosses the line. He has taken the GT3 win. And Wanma finishing out his lap. He and Rita are very low on fuel. It looks like they'll have enough to make it. But we'll have to wait and see here. Wanma's got a sizable lead. He can clutch it, cruise it. There's Sir Race-A-Lot, your GT1 winner. Tiernizzle's your GT3 winner. Wanma coming towards the line. He's running low on fuel, but I believe he's just going to make it. He made a fantastic pit stop that last time by. Took just enough fuel to finish the race. And takes his first SCL career win at Le Mans. First SCL career win at Le Mans for Wanma. All right, let's get them here into the party. Gonna go off here just for a moment, guys. Be right back with you.
Well done, Wanma. Congrats.
Thank you, Gordy.
That
Well,
was good though.
That was a good battle between you and Hossack.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It was tricky because Hossack had really good pace there. He had really
All right,
good
guys,
pace.
make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party settings and make sure your mic settings are shared here. All right, guys, make sure you share your mic on. Go to the party sett
Yeah, I always have it on since I stream.
Yeah, just hang on until we get Warren in here.
Or into
Okay, yeah, okay.
And yeah, Tier Nizzle here. That's the one I forgot. Okay, blah 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 blah.
I felt bad for Byron because Byron really wanted that race as well, but to be fair, you did deserve it. You drove very well.
Yeah, let's save it till let's get them in. All right. Anyway, I'll wait till Warren gets in here. We have our final finishing order here at the SCL 23 2.5 hours of Le Mans. Our three winners are in the GT1 class. VP Sir Race-A-Lot from Sega Keith Motorsports. Starting the winner in the GT3 class, his second straight Le Mans class win for Tier Nizzle, and picking up his very first SCL career victory officially in the GTE class is Wanma from Zenith Motorsports. Fantastic race, guys. We'll start with Sir Race-A-Lot. Takes the overall win. Very, very close finish there at the end with Hossack. 2.5 hours, no cautions. Why don't you give us your impression of your Le Mans win there, Sir Race-A-Lot?
Yeah, it was a really interesting race. I struggled towards the end of the first stint with the tires, and I spun off once or twice and started making mistakes. But I got my head together and managed to catch up back to Hossack, and we ran together pretty much the entire race. But great driving by Hossack. He drove extremely well. And it is very impressive after a 2.5 hour race for two cars to finish within 2 seconds of each other. He was bearing down my neck, and he was definitely making me check my mirrors. But congratulations to everybody, and also to Juan on his first SCL win, and also to Tier Nizzle.
No, absolutely. We were on board with you guys the whole race. We knew you probably might be saving fuel at some point together there, which was a smart move. The pit stops told it. First time he came in, he overshot, gave you back 5 seconds. Second time you came in, overshot, gave him back 5 seconds. It went back and forth. I think if either one of you had been perfect, it would have been no contest to the other one, to that one. But both of you made the exact same mistake. It's a big race. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure, but no, you two ran nose to tail perfect. You guys were prepared for the race. Warren probably could have been in there somewhere. I know he didn't have as much time in the GT1 cars, but you two were the class of the field in there by far. So congratulations. That was a big, big win.
Thank you very much.
Juan, we talked about it in the broadcast. We talked about all season. Most of the officials on the board thought you were the most improved driver this season. And that race, you guys went out. We saw, the big surprise I thought early on was, Shano's the pole sitter, Barron was the defending overall champ, and both of them had trouble from the very beginning of the race. They both went off. They both had problems, and then it was you and Rita eventually. And Rita had some kind of, you had that mistake heading into the pits. You gave about 8 seconds back to her, spinning it on the entrance to pit lane, and then she caught up, or you caught up. She had trouble after her second pit stop, and then the thing that surprised me, and that I have to give you all the credit for, is we're watching that last pit stop, and I'm going, Rita had her pit stop timed to the second. She knew exactly when she was coming in and what it was gonna, what she was gonna take. And I'm thinking, I'm watching it going on the broadcast, going, if Juan's got to nail this pit stop, and not just nail it getting it out of the box. He's got to know exactly how much fuel to put in, exactly how, whether he should take tires, how much, all that kind of stuff. And you absolutely nailed it. She went in to the pits 13 seconds behind you. She came out when you guys shuffled out of the pits. She was 13 seconds behind you. You matched her second to second on the pit stop, and then from there ran away with it. Congratulations, you earned it. You didn't blink. And you remember how we talked about when you were in there before? you learn how to win these races. The championship guys don't blink when it counts, and I thought you didn't blink. You ran a perfect race. Why don't you tell us a little about the day that you had?
Well, at the start, I really wasn't expecting to be out in front, especially not at the start because I was starting fifth in GT. So got a really good start, was really surprised, and then it was a really good battle between me, Rita, and Baron. We got shuffled up a bit, Baron lost a bit of time, and then I made a mistake on the first pit stop, which was really rough, but I don't know, I tried to put the time back on track, and I guess it worked.
Well,
I
what you did, Juan, and I thought that the difference was we knew Barron and Shane were fast here. The difference because we spent a good portion of the first half of that race on board with the GTE was the closest battle for the longest time. We were on board with it a lot. And as a driver, I can say the experience that I have is what I saw is you and Rita were the two that were the most consistent. You guys there were 2 or 3 spots on the track where Barron and Shane were having trouble, and it was hurting them, every second or third lap. You and Rita were just neck and neck, and I'm watching it going. It's going to be down to which, if one of these guys blinks, then it's a whole other story because Barron and even Shane possibly would have get their stuff together and start catching up. And which they did, where Barron did to some extent. But the biggest difference is, as I said, you came out. Rita lost time after her second pit stop. She had tire trouble, I believe. And, you're waiting to see those numbers change, and they didn't. You hung with it that whole time. Then, if I'm watching it as an observer, I'm going, which one of them is going to blink? And I'm thinking, is it going to be the second season driver who hasn't won, or is it going to be the reigning IndyCar champion? And I'm thinking, Rita just has to run her course, and Juan might give it to her, but you did not. And even when you made that mistake coming into the pits, we were expecting to see you rattled, and you just did not show any sign of being rattled. You came right back out. You got right back into the groove of running those 356, 357 lap times, and Sir Race-A-Lot put it perfect. You really did run a great race. I mean, you did. I remember having conversations with you guys saying, you learn how to win. You start going fast, and you learn how to put it all together, how to make the right stops, how to run the right laps, how to be in that position when you three were stuck together and not be the one who makes the mistake that puts you out of it. And you did everything right. And I think that tonight you came of age, man. And so next season you're ready to. I think if you put the time in the off season, you're going to see that you're going to be moving up, by leaps and bounds next season.
I'd just like to say congrats to everyone who finished just for finishing, because thinking it out for 2.5 hours, even when you're not leading, even when you're having a bad race, really shows the dedication.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stryker and Shane to the end there, and they had a watcher for a good portion of the race. They had cars they knew they were out to lunch in, and they still run it. So yeah, I'm with you. But you guys ran a clean race. There was not a caution. There was 1 or 2 things that might have been a caution in that first 30 minutes, but wasn't nothing too bad. You guys were clean. I don't think there's any reason for a race report tonight, but you guys were perfect. You put on a great show. Sir Race-A-Lot and Haas, we were just watching on the edge of our seats that whole end of the race.
Yes. We imagine how we were feeling.
I was just I knew that last round of pit stops was it. Haas came in at a different time, I think.
He ruined me on the pit stop. His strategy was perfect. He undercut me well and truly, and I came out the pits, and I'm waiting to see if I come out in front of him, because I thought that I'd come out in front of him. But then I hear a car go past, and I'm thinking, that car sounds a bit like mine.
Yeah.
And I see the white headlights, and I'm like, oh no. And I look at the top left and I see my name go down to second, and I've still got like another a second of fuel to be put in. But by that point I knew I had some work to do. But yeah,
Yeah.
like one said, it's not easy. 2.3 hours, you know, it's harder. It's a lot easier said than done. So well done to it. I think we only had one person leave that throughout that entire race, and you know that is an achievement in itself. So congratulations to everyone.
No, I agree with you 100%. Like I said there, Juan deserves that win. That stuff in the pits, Juan. That was it. Take it from somebody who flushed away half his season having troubles. Some of it my own fault, some of it the technical shit with the stuff getting reset by the game. Making the pit stops is the key. You know, even going back to our GT6 days, and I thought at first when you hit that wall and coming in, I'm like, man, pull it together, Juan. You still can overcome that. And when you hit that last stop, because like Sir Race-A-Lot was just saying, you know, you can, you know, when you make that short pit like Haas did and like Rita did, you can gain time, but it's not necessary. It's not that you're automatically going to gain time, because if you make the right pit stop later and don't take too much fuel and do everything right, you can match it up. And to go in head to head on a pit stop like that with a veteran like Rita and come out dead even 13 seconds, that was brilliant, because you should have lost at least a few seconds. And the fact that and she did not make a mistake on her pit stop. She was straight in, straight out. The way that you did that showed that you were ready to be a race winner. But Tier's not in here. Give him a congratulations. That was his second Le Mans win. But I do have to wrap it up. Get ready to head out of here.
Tier pulled a great race. GT3 here is around 5-6 seconds slower than the GT, and
He was still beating guys at the bottom of that, yeah.
yeah.
All right, I got a split, fellas. We're going to sign it off. Congratulations, and we'll catch up. We're going to be tech testing this week, particularly for the Super Enduros next season. If y'all want to come out and help, we'll make sure you get the invites. But I'm going to sign it off, and congratulations, guys, and I'll see you this week. Have a good one.